Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window. I am so thankful you took the time and wanted to quilt with me. We are working so hard to build a beautiful winter village, and we're doing together. It's our Quilt Along Winter Village. Oh, I am having so much fun with you guys. I hope you're enjoying all the tips and little advices that I'm giving to you. I'm hoping that you're visiting our website for all your quilting needs, and especially clicking on the link for our blog where I'm photographing step by step for you to help you go through all the directions and everything that we're doing. So visit our website. It's right there, right on the top blog. You're gonna find a fun information, and of course our little treat. Every Wednesday I'm posting beautiful little recipes for little mini houses, so have fun with those. I cannot wait to see your progress and all the beautiful things that you make. Let's now go ahead and start on our next row. We are on row number 3. Row number 3. Look at this, how quickly we went through row 1, row 2, and now we are on row number 3, and we're doing our block number 5 in this row. House 12, 13, and 14. We're gonna start with house 12, and to start you're gonna need a pattern. Just like always in our quilting basket, we have a beautiful Winter Village pattern. I put the pattern right next to me. I already pulled up my page, put it right in front of me. I'm gonna use my rotary, my ruler. I'm gonna cut all my pieces, and I already pre-cut everything and laid out on my table. And normally when I'm at home, I would have laid all out next to my sewing machine, so that way I take my pieces, sew it, put it down, and I like to use this tiny little tool. It's a wooden low press to finger press my pieces, or I go ahead to my ironing board and press it, and I'm gonna talk you through all of the steps. If you're just starting with us, there are only few kits left for our Winter Village, so grab your kit and you can join us anytime. Or you can go ahead and grab Blue Sky Collection bundle and just start making the houses, or use any kind of scraps that you have in your stash. Pull them right out. You need a dark and lights, and make your beautiful houses from your fabric. Well, it's just stunning. I have seen some lovely examples on Instagram. If you're posting your pictures, don't forget to hashtag Quilt Along, Winter Village Quilt Along. Oh, so many wonderful pictures. So now enough talking, let's move on and let's start on our block 12. We're gonna need long rectangles, those are B, for our walls for our house. We're gonna need a light windows, and notice we have variety of light windows, a smaller rectangle, bigger rectangle. We have a nice large rectangle in the center, and we have a beautiful door for right here in the middle of our block. Then we have a little pieces, squares and rectangle, that go on the top and the bottoms of the windows, as well on the top of the window here and on top of the door. When I cut my fabric, I pay attention that all my strips were going in the same direction. So pay attention to that. For our roof, we're gonna need a rectangle and 2 light squares. And then we have a sky and a chimney. So please don't forget to cut your little square for your chimney, and this is where we're gonna begin with our assembly. We also cut a sashing for the side of our house, so that we will piece our sashing right away and we're ready, set, go for our next block. So let's start by taking that small square, chimney square, place it right sides together with our sky rectangle, sew it, flip it open, push the seam allowance towards the dark. As soon as you do that, go ahead and do it the same thing on this side, sew it, flip it open, and you're gonna have this unit put together. The next step, we're gonna place our beautiful light square right sides together with rectangle, light square right sides together with our rectangle. We're gonna draw a line, so I'm gonna take my ruler, place it right over just like this. Beautiful. Make sure that your pieces are laying nicely together. just like that. I'm gonna grab my sew line pencil and I'm gonna draw a beautiful, beautiful line. Then I'm gonna go ahead, start sewing from here, straight down, zoom, 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 right on the line, on right next, shy on the left side of the line, and right there, you're gonna do the same thing on that side as well. Draw a line just like this and then sew it. Why do I sew right next to that line? Because when I turn my fabric over, I want to have enough fabric that then I can trim it and everything looks great. And right now I already prepared a unit for you to see how I did that. Let's move this over. Look at this. This is my chimney unit right there. Everything is sewn beautifully together. And I have my roof unit that I already, look, I sewed my beautiful squares. And all that I'm gonna do is grab my ruler, place it right over, and then I'm gonna go ahead and trim with my rotary just like this. And now I go ahead and flip it over and push my seam allowance towards the dark. Yes, I did one side. It looks amazing. And I can use my cute little tool. Whoa, look at this. This is perfect. I'm not pulling, no stretching. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Go ahead, place my ruler, and I'm placing my ruler right there, and I'm measuring 1/4 away from the stitch line, and I'm gonna cut it. Super. This blade is so nice and fresh. I love putting a fresh blade in my rotary because then my cutting is so nice. And right there, open it up, push it towards the beautiful roof, and our roof is finished. We're gonna go ahead, grab this piece, place it right sides together, match, pin and pin, beautifully sew it. And very important, now right here, I want you to pay attention to it. When we flip this open, we want to go ahead and this seam end up right on the edge of the roof. So it's more important, do not worry about matching the sides as much as you want to go ahead, take this in your hands and match it up. Make sure that when you open this right here, it matches. So my pin is gonna go right there in this spot where I'm gonna just gently grab that roof. And I know that if I stitch 1/4 inch away, it's gonna be perfect. And when I flip it open, I'm gonna get a beautiful, beautiful roof. So this was right here. Flip it open, and then we're gonna have a great roof. And right here, we're gonna go ahead and take our rectangle, sew it to the window, sew it to the window, sew it to the window, sew it right here, and we're gonna make beautiful rows. Then we're gonna go ahead, sew a long strip on a side, another strip on this side, and we're gonna create this unit. We're gonna do the same thing on the right side of our house. And then we're gonna finish by sewing the blue rectangle to the top of the window and the top of the door. All the seam allowance are being pushed towards the blue. You did it. Let me show you how I did this. And just remember, be patient, match it up, press it really nice, and remember all our little tips on matching the seams. So right there, now I have our units. Right there, the small windows are on the top. Do you notice the size of this window is the same? So now I'm gonna go ahead and place this and this right sides together. And very important to me, I want to make sure that the top of my windows match and they're all in a one line. So notice what I did. I placed it right sides together and I folded gently, creased it, made sure that my seams, do you see, matching up? They're locking almost right there. Match it up. So I go ahead, do that, and I gonna take my pin and pin it right in place. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this bottom of the window right there. I wanna nicely match. So I'm gonna go ahead again, gentle crease. Oh, you can take your beautiful ruler and a pencil and mark a straight line because you want all of those seams to match really nice. So if you mark a line, then right there, they're gonna be matching. Pin it, sew it, flip it open, your seam allowance would be pushed towards the strip. Do the same thing on this side, and as soon as you do that, you're gonna go ahead and sew the body of the house to the roof. All 3 pieces, wonderful, done. And you're going to add a side strip right here just by placing, flipping open, beautiful. Push the seam allowance this time towards the strip, and you have your house finished up. And as soon as you finish the big version of the house, you maybe want to grab those tiny leftovers and make a little guy. No time for that yet, because we have 2 more homes to build. Yes, we just finished house number 12, and next is gonna be 13. So this house right here, and we've done this one before. This is very similar to our first house. The windows just a little bit different. For this house, we're gonna need 2 strips for the sides, 1 strip for the middle. Then we're gonna go ahead and grab all the wonderful units, little squares, little window, window, and window, and we have all these wonderful rectangles for the bottom of those little squares should be right here, and a rectangle on the top. So this is the pieces that you need for the house, the body of the house, for a roof, and I'm using the same blue, or you can go ahead and switch to that same fabric but in a light, and I use that fabric also in a door. And I have to tell you, one of the questions that come up is, do I follow the pattern and do exactly as I have the quilt on a cover? Sometimes, and sometimes as I make my quilt, I want to change some things. Don't you feel like that sometimes? You know, it's like one morning you get up and you paint your door red on your house, and you just enjoy it. So sometimes as I go ahead and make my blocks, during the process, I go ahead and change some things. We have 2 beautiful background squares where we're gonna use them right here, and then a sky. And you know the process. You're gonna place those squares, draw a line, flip it open, draw a line, flip it open, and create a beautiful flying geese unit. And let's don't forget that size strip. And I already prepare that unit right here. Look at it. So I pressed it, flipped it open. Now you know the routine. Another one, draw it, flip it open, let's cut it off. Wow, this is wonderful. Look at this. I'm gonna have another gorgeous house where I'm just gonna flip this open and make a roof. That is a roof raising like no other. And right there, this is the sky where I'm gonna place those 2 pieces together, sew it with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and flip it open. Now for the house, this to this, to this, to this, to this, we sew in 1 row, another row, sew pieces together. Let me show you. I have prepared those for you. Isn't it wonderful? I get all of this done so I can show you how I do my blocks. So those were the large strips that we have it on the side, and those were the strip units that I was talking about it. Those still wanted to give me a little headache, and they want to twist and turn. It's really important to press your fabric before you cut, and a lot of pinning. I'm gonna put this right sides together, sew it, flip it open, do the same thing on this side, then add this, and then add all my pieces together beautifully to create a gorgeous house. And look how nice the house look. And of course, don't forget your sashing. Don't forget your sashing. It's gonna be wonderful when you finish up your blocks, how easy it is to sew to the rows. And I already have seen girls holding the whole rows and modeling, and guys too, modeling with those. So really, really nice. You guys are doing great job, and I am so, so proud of you. So look how nice the house look. All your seams were pushed towards the blue on the house. We pushed this seam towards the blue, pushed this seam towards the sky, add everything, add our sashing, and yes, let me tease you with that little, tiny little mini house. House number 13, finish, ready, set, go. Are you ready for house 14? To start up your house 14, you're gonna need the pattern. So right there, I had my first pattern. I'm gonna go ahead and find my next pattern right there. super. And we are on house 14 as usual. I place it right next to me. I follow the directions for cutting. Let me bring all the pieces. And as I'm cutting my pieces, I'm marking off the lines right here of my little ABC schedule. Mark it off. Whatever you finish, let's do it. Needs to be done. Mark it off, and I'm gonna start it with the roof. I need a light rectangle, light square, and a small blue square for my chimney. This roof is nice and simple, nice and straight, so easy. This whole house is so much fun to do it. It reminds me of a little townhouse. So you have two beautiful long strips, and then you have a light strip right here. So all your pieces right there, beautiful, just like this. And I'm gonna go ahead and line up my windows and all the other rectangles and the little squares, following the direction. I'm paying attention to my direction and putting all the pieces in the right places. Wonderful. Oh, I'm missing a door. I better get that door right there. Once you finish laying all your pieces, everything is cut, you're gonna go ahead and start sewing. And we're gonna start sewing by sewing this to this, right sides together. So flip it open, push it towards the blue, then finish with this side. How wonderful. We have our chimney finished. Let me show you how I did. Oh, this is going to look great. Then we have our roof. We're gonna place our roof right side together, stitch it, beautiful. Push the seam allowance towards the blue. Let me show you how I did on this part of the house. I have worked hard, I tell you. I don't know if you guys know, but it was just my birthday, and I still was stitching and having fun and enjoying and prepping all these wonderful houses for you, because I look forward every week to quilt with you, and I so much enjoy sharing what I love and sharing some of the tips. If you don't agree with me on some things, I'm okay with it. I want you to do what you love the most and enjoy your quilting journey and have some fun with your fabrics. So notice how I sew my strips, windows into a strip set right here with the blue on the top and right here. And this was one strip set. I add a blue on the right, blue on the left, push my seam allowance towards the blue rectangles on the side. This was another strip set with the two windows in it, add a rectangle to it, flip it open, and of course, again, we want to sew everything together, and we're paying attention because it is so important that our windows are right where they're supposed to be. So again, gentle pinch, gentle crease, pin it, sew it, match things up, flip it open as soon as you finish, press beautifully. All those steps will repeat over and over, and in no time you're gonna have a beautiful, beautiful house. Let me show you how I did. Oh, look at this. Isn't that wonderful? What a gorgeous house. It's just so simple. So simple. And I have to tell you, later on, those simple houses gonna be so much fun to add a little scallops for the roof to pretend that are low shingles. Maybe add something here, low brick. And do not forget, if you have a low fabric with a flower or a kitty and want to put it in your window, it is your quilt. And notice how sweet that low pattern looks as a mini. So this house looks just wonderful. House 14 as a low mini. Look at our low minis from this week. How sweet. Oh, I just use all the tiny leftovers. Remember, number one, you want to do your large blocks. Then as soon as you finish your large blocks, if you see a low swatches, low leftovers, you can definitely use them for the smaller pieces, or you can wait that you completely finish all of the blocks, collect your recipes, and go ahead and make the minis. And I am so thankful you took the time and wanted to quilt with me. Thank you so much. Don't forget to give us thumbs up, visit our website, invite a friend to quilt with us. And now something new and exciting. Every Thursday we do live quilting window where I'm showing you most beautiful quilts to inspire you and answer your questions on quilting. Tune in on Thursday to Quilting Window Live at Laundry Basket Quilts, YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. Leave us nice comments. I look forward to hearing from you, and I can't wait to quilt some more with you. Thank you so much, and happy quilting!